Hello, and God bless you, and welcome to another podcast. My name is Elder Dwight Kenneth Kirk, and I want to thank you for joining us for another podcast. I was on yesterday, yes, and we are back again today. We are back because, as Elder Kirk has said on many occasions, God wakes me up at 3 in the morning or 4 and begins to give me instruction. When I say give me instruction, is to get on the Spreaker and to give to the people that are following Elder Kirk the information that is needed. I always say that Elder Kirk is for a personal relationship. And what happens is, what interferes with the relationship a lot of times will be what? We're talking about people. Brother, your sister, might be your family member, might be a friend that will interfere with the relationship between you or another person. What you must begin to understand that is what is getting between you and your relationship with God is tradition and the way this country is ran. When I say the way this country is ran, you must understand, if anybody looks at leadership, I'm talking about from a pastor or from an organization, they look at this country's leader as the perfect example of leadership. Right or wrong. That's who they look at. If he or she can run this country, have all this information that is needed, and able to do whatever needs to be done, then that's who I'm going to look at as a leader. We were talking about this yesterday, and I told you to always choose the right person as a leader. Now, how do you know how to choose the right person as a leader? We have to go by the biblical standards of a leader. Now, when I say the biblical standards of a leader, you must look at the many, prophets or people that God called into leadership positions in the Bible. Now, what I mean by that is like I was saying to you yesterday. I said Moses. And the thing about Moses was his wife's father is the one that helped him to being able to delegate. You understand what I'm saying? Moses did not know what to do with this nation that he had behind him. He did not know how to lead and guide them. He was getting instruction from God, yes, but God sent someone to tell him, hey, you need to delegate A, B, C, and D. Right? We're not seeing that. Now, I will say this. Ex-President Barack Obama did say to the president now, you need to listen to your people around you because you can't do it yourself. Now, I'm jumping a little bit ahead. We're going to deal with that. But you can't do it yourself. Now, what happens when you burn out? When a lot of leaders burn out because they try to do everything themselves. I have to take care of this. I have to take care of that. No, you're supposed to be able to delegate and say, you do this, you do that, and then it flows smoothly. Now, you need to understand, as a leader, you have strength and you have weaknesses. You need to have someone there that can cover your weaknesses. I noticed this in a ministry I was at, and there was a teacher that a bishop had, and the teacher was excellent. But the one thing that I understood was the teacher, he was an excellent teacher. He could teach, preach, and do some other things. But he did it better than the head of that ministry. The head of the ministry was he was a good preacher. But the other things he could not, it was like, well, wait a minute, it seemed like he kind of slackish on that. But you put somebody there to be like, okay, you know what, you take care of that because that's not one of my strengths. As a leader, now what I'm doing is, Ravenhill, you need to understand, not with daddy and somebody else, this is for everyone here that's listening. and is going to listen to this podcast, you must understand as a leader, because remember now, we all are leaders. When I say we are all the leaders, that everybody has a calling. And when I say a calling, there is a specific job that God only gave you. Nobody else. See, we always say somebody can do this better than you, or somebody can do something else better than you, especially if maybe they have been trained in that position or that office. But the thing about what God gave you, He gave it to you. So can't nobody do it better than you. If God puts you here to start a homeless shelter, and just because somebody else has been running a homeless shelter somewhere else, God gave you that shelter that you're going to put up. So nobody else is going to do it better. It's not possible. It'll look like they know more. They have a better cabinet. But guess what? That was yours. That is yours. And can't nobody take it from you. When we talk about leadership, everybody, remember I was talking about this yesterday, Raven. We keep trying to put people over us. We do not believe that God made us the way that we are. Oh, God put the pastors here to shape and mold so you can go. Wait a minute, hold on now. So answer me this. Why is somebody spending 20, 30 years in a ministry? It takes 20 to 30 years to mold. Come on now. We are still on leadership. This is leadership part 2. I haven't got into it. You need to understand, everybody, that the way God made you, you have a specific crowd of people that you deal with. And sometimes when you get around them people, if you look and watch, a lot of times they asking you, well, what you think? Or they may be following you like, you know what? How do you feel? You know what do you think about? And you never think, man. And I'm not saying that to get the big head or say they're my followers or get your Jim Jones on. I'm saying this like, wait a minute. This could be divine. What would I call it, Raven? This could be a divine connection. But the only time we hear divine connection is in church. We have been so brainwashed and in such a position to think less of ourselves that we are always thinking that the people that are in the government are so much better than we are. They are willing, they know how to lead us. How? Once you start to begin to do your homework, I haven't even got to what I'm supposed to begin to yet. Once you start to get to doing the homework and find out that politics are really just a game, but been set up so good to make you believe that this is the way it's ran. I said to you yesterday, I say it again and again, they are going to do things to you that you will see. And you will say, no, that's not right. But guess what? You can't do nothing about it. Because they've been doing it the whole time. But 2016, everybody started finding out that these are not just conspiracy theories. This is the truth. People woke up in 2016. It's only going to get worse for these government people now. Now I'm not taking no jump. Get out my face. Don't tell me no. I don't want to hear that. Because see, now when you go in and they start asking you questions and start trying to treat you like you stupid, you give them some history. Show them I know a little bit of that theology you talking about, Mr. or Miss. And I'm talking about when you want to find something out in one of these state buildings and they want to throw a little history out on you, make you feel stupid. Do your homework. Start to study. That's what the information is there for. Raven is supposed to be for us. We the people are supposed to be running this. That's what it says. But guess what? The government runs it, and we don't have any rights. Everybody's getting upset and mad. Why? Because it's been done wrong too long. You're going to do right, you better start doing right. And if you don't, guess what? I'm going to make sure you're doing right. Because I'm telling you right now, I've seen some stuff and I've studied on some stuff, and it's true. If this government don't do right, they can be overthrown. I'm not, oh no, that you ain't got to cut no heads off, or nothing. We don't have to act like we from overseas. We don't have to run up in the White House and beat everybody up and all. No, we don't have to do that. Yeah, we don't have to do that. Just be very much aware of what your rights are. Elder Kirk, I'm here to listen. I'm going to hear about God and Jesus. You see, that's the thing. That's why I did that on. Go back in there. We must understand how things work. We must go by the biblical standard of what God said leadership is supposed to do. First, we're supposed to be listening to what God told us. Now, it's funny how the Republicans, I'm pretty sure, all go to church because they believe in God. But guess what? Boy, they do some of the dirtiest stuff in the world. They want to take the money from your paycheck, but guess what? I shouldn't have to do nothing for you. I should just take your money and you do nothing for me. That's pretty much how it all, Democrat, Republican, liberal, whatever. Just give me all the money out of your paycheck that I really don't need, and then be a good citizen. I shared something on Facebook I'm pretty sure that a lot of people didn't like. The young girl said, how do you feel about your country? Oh, she got the business, didn't she, Raven? She asked that man, which had that microphone, which was probably a Hebrew Israelite. And she said, how do you feel about your country? Go to my Facebook. He had her crying, but it was the truth. Go ahead, Raven.
I have a question. So I think everybody's seen the meme where they have a picture of homeless people in America, and they have I think it was a bishop or an archbishop on the bottom of the thing, and it was talking about, billions of dollars going to the church,
right,
and how the church isn't, we still have homeless people that shouldn't be happening.
Right.
So is that where the billions of dollars is going? Is going to like the government?
Yes. Remember, Dr. Umar was talking about, and please excuse my language, he was talking about money for your white Jesus. Now, that's how Pan-Africans see us, even though we know Jesus is black. But he's saying was a lot of black churches, money goes to white banks. So all of them tithes and offerings go to that white bank. It goes to the, and guess
working in the government.
Right. And no. The bank is owned by the government. You understand? FDIC, that's federal government. Okay? So what happens is when your daddy makes $3,000, and I take $300 and I put it into the church, and the church has to put that money into the bank. That money goes straight to where? The government, so they can do as they please. See what I'm saying? But what happens is, what he's saying is, if you do have a black church, you understand what I'm saying, and you go to a black bank, that's different. It goes in a different, different area. But for a majority of banks, because it's a bank, you know what I'm saying? You have to have you have to have a paper trail of where everything went to. So, it's good to work with a bank and stuff like that. But when they do that, that's saying that the money that the church is making, that's where it's going. It goes to the government, but the government, Raven, baby, there should not be no homeless. See what I'm saying? That when they put stuff like that, that's what they said. See, what happened was, and this is a little history for everyone to stay tuned. When the black church, just church in general, used to do loans. They used to loan people loans, but guess what? They didn't charge interest. So the money they gave you, you just had to give it back. The government didn't like that. They stopped that. Oh yeah, they said, "Oh no, you can't loan no more. You're not allowed to do that." You understand? So that's why when you see people now that their electric bill may need to be paid or something like that, they have to show. Okay, boom. The White Kirk PWC was due. We helped such and such amount of money went in. Okay, it has to show. You see what I'm saying? Now the thing about what I'm getting here is we bringing that money in. You understand? Then that money should be going to things in the community. That's what he's talking. That's what that Mimi is saying. This bishop, say Bishop Jakes, he may bring in that 6 million on a Sunday. You see what